Welcome everyone to the live session with Leverage TV. I'm Tushita, head coach / overseas education expert at Leverage EDU IB 100 Vertical. I coach students to make it to the top 100 universities of the world. Today we will be addressing the topic of how to write a winning SOP. And the structure for the same is as follows. So we will be covering topics such as what is an SOP, what does your SOP consist of. We will be taking it forward to what is the importance of your SOP. How do you start writing your SOP? How many words should your SOP in, and how can Leverage EDU help you here? So but before we begin, let me give you an insight about what we do. We are India's top trusted university admissions platform for studying abroad. If you're planning to study abroad and wish to start your international study journey, then feel free to reach out to us. We at Leverage EDU help you to reach out or to reach your dream study abroad destinations. If you're confused about how to apply for a particular university abroad and where and when to apply, then we can always help you out. Apart from that, we guide you through your application process. We help you through construction of your SOPs, preparing your interviews, help you with your scholarships, loans, accommodations, and a lot more. You can reach out to us on our website and avail benefits of our university admission services. All right, so I'll start with what is an SOP and what does it basically consist of. So SOP is a document that communicates your purpose, motivation, and your intent to the admission panel of your dream university. This document acts as a bridge between you and your past experiences and what you want to build of your future. In most cases, this particular document consists of your motivational story, your education, your projects, your academic and professional expertise, or your let's say your other expertise in different subjects. Why do you want to pursue a particular degree? Your short-term goals, your long-term goals, why this particular university, and lastly, are you a good fit for this school or not? Please always remember that writing an SOP should be in a reverse chronological order. I mean, you'll start with your present and take it to your past. Now, there are a few things that we must address in our SOP, and those being, like I mentioned before, it is supposed to be a purpose, intent, and motivation. And you can talk about this through, let's say, by answering a few questions. So the first question that your SOP is supposed to answer is, how will this program that I want to apply to help me realize my dreams? Or what do I plan to do after this program? And how will this degree help me actualize or acquire those necessary skills that are needed to realize my dreams? Then this is something that is defining your purpose. Another thing that your SOP has to really talk about is your past experiences. So what is important here is what kind of past experiences and how much of past experience would you want to talk about? How long should it be and how relevant is it to your current goal? These are a few things which are extremely essential to be kept in mind. Now, what also you have to do is, how do you justify, let's say a particular course that you pursued and you're suddenly changing your stream altogether. So how do you justify that? And what do you basically bring to the table? And how can you relate this to your program? The best way to do this is to add multiple examples and instances from your personal experiences to show the university that you're ready for this. The next thing that is extremely important is the program. Now, why do you want to study in a particular country is very important to address as a part of your SOP. Why do you want to study in a particular college? How does your work or your program or whatever you've done in the past connects with this particular program? How does this program fulfill your needs and interests? What are your expectations from the program, and how do you contribute to the same? These are a few questions that you can answer, and this will I think this will give you a little structure and a flow, and you'll know where you're coming from. Then again, you can always address things such as, if there is a certain research methodology that you like, or a particular facet of the curriculum that you particularly fancy, or any, let's say, significant professor that you wish to work under or, pursue your research with. Another thing is, what is really important for your SOP is to reflect your personality. So here you basically talk about either how you fit in, but mostly students talk about how do they stand out. So how well do you know the student body? What kind of people are there, and how do you fit in or stand out is something that will really help you communicate this. Another thing is, please keep your SOP in plain words. I know we are all tempted to use a thesaurus and, let's say use complicated words to fancy our SOP, but that's not the case. I think best SOPs are written in plain, simple English, which communicate everything in grave detail to the university. Now, while we've understood this, we must understand what is the importance of an SOP on your application process. Now, SOP happens to be one of, I mean, if you submit your your CV, your CV is something that mentions what all have you done, but it does not talk about your experiences. This is where your SOP comes into place. So here you explain, let's say, you have a certain instance, or let's say your family background, or things that you're not able to mention over your CV get communicated through your SOP. Another thing that we must understand is a lot of us, while we are writing our SOPs, we are trying to communicate certain things that we are not able to otherwise. So the university understands our personality better with the way we write. That is why it is extremely important to submit an SOP. In many cases, SOP becomes a key deciding factor. I think I had one of my few students who had a good profile, but having a good profile did not necessarily mean that he would get through. So what actually got him through was his personal essays and his SOPs that he had actually, let's say we brainstormed together. That really helped him. So basically now I would want to address, how do you actually start writing your SOP? You basically, I mean, in most cases, we suggest students to start, their SOPs either with a personal anecdote or with, let's say, a quote that they fancy, something that resonates with their idea of self, or probably their motivation. So this is the way you start it off. The first paragraph that we can actually divide our SOP into various paragraphs. Let's start with the first one being introduction. And this is not basically a self introduction per se. This is an introduction of your academic field of interest. Why does this field interest you? How does it interest you? And what do you aspire to do in this domain is something we will cover here. Now, the next paragraph after this is the background paragraph. Now, when you are talking about your background, you can talk about where you come from. Let's say your family background. If you have, let's say you are coming from an army family. So you will address this differently. Again, you will talk about different experiences that you have in this particular paragraph. You will talk about your industrial exposure or your training experiences here. Your professional experiences are extremely relevant and important. These are things that you must include. You can talk about your extracurriculars, you can talk about your internships, you can talk about your academics. Let's say you're someone who's been, let's say, top 5 students of the class, so you can always talk about that. And you can talk about, let's say you've done academic research, you've done research papers, you've done academic projects, you've worked under somebody, you've been an RA. All of that is extremely relevant and you can talk about here. Now here in this particular paragraph, you also delve into details. Again, the question arises, is how big should this paragraph be? This basically depends on a lot of research as to what is it that you basically want to communicate. So I advise students to write down whatever they want to communicate, number the same, and then take that forward, because that will help you structure it better. Now, after we're done with the background paragraph, we specifically move on to a paragraph that talks about why do we want to take up this course. Now, specifically, when you're trying to pursue a particular course, why do you want to do it becomes the major part of the question. So this is where you will discuss the course and curriculum and what facet of this curriculum do you actually like. How do you like, let's say research, how like the way or the teaching skills or something particular to this particular course that really feels will help you enhance your profile and do better in the future. Now, your SOP happens to be a very idealistic document. So make sure you talk about whatever is motivating you throughout. Then the next paragraph after why do you want to go in for this course again stems out of why this course. So you talk about your career goals in the next paragraph. You clearly specify your career goals immediately after this course. You will talk about your short-term goals, your midterm goals, and your final goals in the sense that, let's say, in long term, what do you plan to do? 10 to 15 years down the line, where do you see yourself? Or let's say 5 years after doing your course, where do you see yourself as a midterm goal? And where do you immediately plan to work is something that you'll talk in your short-term goals. Now, again, this is where you have to decide whether you want to take up academic research, you want to get into academia, you want to, start off with your own, let's say, an entrepreneurial project, or you would want to, pursue a particular job is something you can talk about here in grave detail. Students can go from being, let's say, as I would say they can be as vague as saying that I would want to pursue a job to as specific as, after a few years, I would want to work in a particular organization, move to this position, and eventually over 15 to 20 years, I am going to be a part of the UN. A lot of students have made such, I mean, the clearer you are with your path, the more you know about what you want to do, the more universities are attracted towards you. So this is something that we must keep in mind. Now, after this, the basic, the most important paragraph, which is extremely important to you, should be why this particular university. So here we talk about those particular salient features of the university that actually attract you, be it, let's say, clubs that you want to join, or you can talk about various things such as the professor you would want to work under, or academic projects, or how they teach, or what, let's say, even things such as the motto of the university can be very monumental. You can always talk about, let's say, how do you resonate with the motto of the university and how do you align. This allows the university to understand how can you be a part of their, student body. Are you a perfect fit or not? So universities are also trying to look at students who are a perfect fit for the community that they have. Not necessarily, a university that is an ideal fit for you is the best university in the world. Let's say certain students might not want to go to Harvard, but would rather go to Stanford because they are a better fit there. So that is something one must keep in mind. Now, the last paragraph, as I would like to state it, is called conclusion. This is where you sum up whatever you have spoken about in the above paragraphs, and you basically, specifically, do not mention anything about financial assistantship in this particular paragraph. And finally, you thank the admission committees for going through your application. Now, particularly, once then this is done, we always come to this question as to how many words should our SOP actually consist of. In most cases, your SOP should consist of, let's say, somewhere between 500 to 1,500 words is what your SOP should, the words your SOP is supposed to consist of, depending on university to university. Now, every university demands you to write a particular SOP. Sometimes it's 500 words, sometimes it's 650 words, sometimes it's 750 words. Sometimes they will say that, let's do 1,000, 1,500, but not more than that. I would suggest that while you're preparing for your SOP, there are certain things that you must keep in mind. Number one, you make a list of certain things such as what have you done in your past experiences. Your entire CV needs to be up to date for that. What are the instances that you would want to quote? Do a very strong analysis of your strengths and weaknesses so that you can quote those out too. And it is extremely important for you to understand how do you get over your weaknesses. So in order to show that you are a determined person who wants to get rid of your weaknesses and, someone who wants to work in, in becoming a better person, you can always talk about how you got over certain weaknesses. So this is one thing these are a few things that you must keep in mind. Also, an extensive research about the university that you want to go to is extremely monumental in constructing your SOP. Your SOP is not a document that you write in one day. You write, you edit, and you edit, and you edit till the time you do not reach the perfect piece. So this is how we write our SOP. Now, not only do we write our SOP like this, I must also tell you that how we here at Leverage Edu can basically help. So basically, we take you through a brainstorming process. Number one, we sit down and brainstorm your SOPs, realizing, all right, this is a particular experience you can quote, this is a particular experience you can't quote, or how should you portray this is something we will sit down and decide together. Another thing is, after you send in your first draft, and mind you, we do not write your SOPs for you. It is extremely important for you to understand that universities have a way of finding out if you have written your SOPs or not. They do tend to consider the writing section of your SOP, SATs, and then your IELTS. They tend to match that. If you submitted any other write-ups to the university, they tend to check. So that's why I suggest never have a third party writing down your SOP. It is extremely monumental that you write it on your own. We can help you edit the same. We can help you review the same. We have an editorial system that will help you guide through it, a mentor to review. You have a coach alongside you at all times who will also be reviewing this with you. I know getting your SOP written by somebody seems very tempting, but let's avoid that. These are some of the few things that we must keep in mind. All right, so now we are open to certain questions. Okay, so I have a question. Someone says that I want to study abroad on a scholarship. Okay, while we want to study abroad on a scholarship, it is extremely important to understand that scholarships also demand an essay or a particular SOP from you, which is essential to your entire process. So please understand that and write the same in accordance to that. We are here to help you with that. Please feel free to reach out. Ma'am, how to get a scholarship of any university in abroad living in India? Well, if you are applying to get a scholarship in various universities abroad, what you need to specifically do is search, number one, what are the universities? Number one, make a list of the universities that you want to go to. It is extremely important that you understand that while you have a list of universities, you must understand the different kinds of scholarships that they actually from their own personal end do they offer, and what are the external scholarships that you can apply to. Once you have that and you have a list of external scholarships that the universities accept, you can start working on the different kinds of let's say essays that they demand or different things that they actually want out of you. There is a cutoff that you need to meet. You have to have a particular credentials to reach that kind of a scholarship, and that is something we need to discuss in detail. How do I start writing an SOP? Like, what should be the very first ideal thing to do? So the first thing about writing an SOP is that number one, you make a list of the documents that you need to study. So let's say if you are going in for an SOP and you need to start with number one, your background. So you will map out what all have you done in terms of, let's say, your leadership skills. If you've done leadership, if you've done things such as, your work experience, your academic background, your extracurriculars, all of that you need to make a list of. So you talk even about your workshops, or even if you, let's say, work with a mentor, you can always discuss that. You can always talk about the mentors that you have with us here. A mentorship program will also help you. Any kind of publications that you have, any kind of research papers that you've written, or even if you've written any kinds of books, all of that comes under this. And it becomes extremely important that you talk about this. So once when you have all of this ready, you have the information on the university ready, you have an idea of your own strengths and weaknesses, you can start writing your SOP again with the flow that I had told you about. That you can always start with, let's say, how do you introduce your academic field of interest, your background, your career goals. Since my 12th post got cancelled, how are they going to judge? Well, once if your 12th boards have been cancelled out this year, number one, your marks will come either on the basis of how you performed in your pre-boards, or let's say, however your performance has been. So in most cases, the universities abroad know about the situation here in India. You're not the only one going through this situation right now. Everybody is in the same boat as you. So they understand this. This is something that you can justify in your SOP as well as to what happened. The world is under a pandemic, and this is one thing everybody realizes. So don't sweat it. I hope this was helpful to all of you. The next session will be, next Friday, same time, 6 p.m. So you can always reach us there. Just in case you have any other questions, you can always dial in to us or email us at Leverage, and they can connect you to me, and I will be taking this forward. Any other questions, any other FAQs will be answered in the next session. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for joining, and please join the next session that we have tomorrow on a different topic right here on the same channel. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining in.